with what I'm ripping. And from this day forward, ain't no violence up in heaven. Yeah, leaving all the snakes out the garden, watch them flee. Yeah, it's time to make the world a better place so we can breathe. It's time to have some love for your family you don't know. It's bigger than America, it's families across the globe. Getting rid of all the haters, one way to make it work. I'm tired of seeing all my brothers' faces on these shirts. Yeah, I'm asking myself what is going on. It seems like everybody doing wrong. We gotta tighten up so we can change, cause there ain't nobody else to blame. When we get the money, we gon' make a way. Ain't no suffering no more, no, not today. We gon' help communities and make it safe. Yeah, we here to make
Welcome to the PowerOfVoices.com on the Comedy Hour Live. It's Anna Marie, and I just want to say that's music, new music from Yahweh Kenanaya on the YMMG record label. You can catch them on iTunes. Like to feature some new music as an intro to my show, and I got to tell you, I really like that song. That's some clean music, man. That's a nice message, you know. Most of the artists on that record label do, and I have the pleasure tonight. King's in the house.
Hey,
it's Kings.
Hey,
and
yeah.
your name is actually King.
My actual name is
Do you
King.
believe this?
Yeah, it's
like,
not a stage name. King. Yeah, it's not a stage name. I'm not trying to promote. Like, it's just it was a hard name to grow up with.
Now wait, now say the full name.
No, King Hassan. That is
King Hassan.
Yeah, those are all. That's my real name. That's on my ID.
On my ID.
Yeah.
The rest of it.
Yeah.
But, you know that's I love that because like people must question you on that. Like, is that you? Come on now. That's a stage name. And,
yeah, it's hard to live up to. Like now, it's all right. I'm 6'3". I'm 230 pounds. Like it's
and
okay.
the smallest one he said, as far as that goes.
But when you're a fat kid growing up in the middle of San Jose or Alabama, like it's not a great name to have.
Alabama.
Yeah,
exactly.
not a great name to have.
No, I mean, well, they say there's a lot that goes into that fact of the names that we've been given. Like there's a lot of freaky names out there that people name their kids. I remember being out in the playground just hearing some names, and somebody said that about the Cardi B's.
Yeah.
What is the name? It's
the
like
culture.
Culture. Yes,
with
culture.
a K.
With a K.
Yeah, culture with a K.
What is that? And then he's like, you already got a stripper, like ghetto stripper dancer name. Is like.
Well, do you know her real name?
Cardi B. No.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
So
I can't. Yeah.
Even why?
It's a name I've never even heard before. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it gives the comedian something to because I know what I love is like you know Boogie B, right?
Yes.
And when he does those like let me stress you out right fast, I've had Boogie on the show, and I'm just like, man, that's brilliant. And you know he's so secure in what he does that he's willing. He's like, I don't care if they want the app to do what I do with the split screen, they can't do They can't do Boogie B.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, if you give your kid a weird name or an uncommon name, they're either going to be great or nobody. They're not.
Right.
They're not going to be an accountant.
They're gonna,
all right. That's not an option. All right. They're going to be a janitor, or they're going to be like.
That's so funny. You went to the name to that being the accountant. When I was driving Lyft for a minute. One of the producers that I had him in the car, he actually said that he never tells what he does for work. He said, because then everybody's throwing a script at you, they're in your face, and he goes, so I tell him.
Can you give me his information? I need to throw a script at him, just real quick.
He goes, I tell everybody I'm an accountant because nobody cares. Nobody wants to talk to an accountant.
Nobody,
right?
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, right. I can see that.
And they're all named Ted.
They're all named Ted the accountant.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the type comedy, first of all, how long have you been doing it?
So I started in 2001.
Wow.
But I can't, it's unfair for me to start my time there. I was going up and I put myself through college working at the San Jose Improv. So that's...
Wait a minute. You put yourself through college doing comedy?
Oh, yeah. No. Working as a server.
Oh, let's specify that. Yeah.
Let's be very
just
clear.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I started off as a doorman, then I became a server, and I put myself through college working at the San Jose Improv. And then, so I like go on stages. I met Kevin Hart before he was Kevin Hart. Like I met all these people and kind of got like School of Hard Knocks training as far as like the comedy world. And then, I graduated college, got a big boy job, and I moved to Canada. I moved to Calgary, and I started doing comedy up there.
I wanted to say, Canada.
Yeah. First off, I don't know why any black people live in America. Like Canada is really good to black people.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good to black. There's no racist. There's no racism in Canada towards black people.
That's a beautiful thing.
It really is. It's so confusing. When people don't like me here in America, I can always say, "Oh, they're just racist." Like in Canada, like I really have to look inside my soul and I have to figure out what I am doing wrong.
Do you talk about that on stage?
I used to, when I first moved down here, that's all I could talk about because I had just moved from Canada. But no, black people, I'm telling you, like there's another place.
Yeah, I really do.
It's cold.
It is cold. My sister lives in Montreal.
Oh yeah, Montreal's beautiful.
So, like I keep saying to her, she's like, you come up and visit. And I'm like, yeah, maybe during the summer.
Yeah.
Because
Seasonal.
cold hurts.
Right,
man.
right, it does.
So here you are, you're up in Canada, and you're working the shows up there?
Yeah. And I was like, apparently this is what I want to do. And then I was like, well, I can't do this in Canada, so I moved to LA.
A lot of support from your family on it?
I retired. I started a couple companies, sold them. I'm done.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Thus the name King. And now we know why. I'm going to write this down. Next child, grandson be named King. Go ahead.
So my family, they're all taken care of. They're happy. They're happy that I'm happy. And so
wait a minute. How old are you?
34.
And you've already accomplished all that? That's not a common story with comedians.
Yeah.
Although they were all unusual because I've had comedians that were lawyers that G. Hill, and now he's doing comedy.
Yeah.
You got Dana Green, who was a boxer and had, college degree and all that stuff and doing comedy. It's like to explain to my friends that it's something that's in your blood that nobody even understands.
Yeah.
Unless you're a comedian.
Right. And it's
driven.
just, yeah. I mean, for my whole life, I've always been rewarded for outworking people. And so like to end up in the creative industry and get accolades for creating something and communicating with people, it's a total different high. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you on that. There's like I tell people, I'm one of those multifaceted artsy fartsy people, as my mother would say. And somebody said to me, if you could have one talent, that you wouldn't trade, and I said it's my ability to make people laugh, having that real quick edge.
Yeah.
I mean, sarcasm 101 is East Coast anyway.
Oh yeah, of course.
But
you can't get out of the East Coast until you pass. Yeah.
But to have that ability, where people, you really don't appreciate it until you're sitting there and you do. Like I said, the stories behind some of the comedians. Like obviously, you don't have like some I came from and this turmoil and
it's there.
Come on
it's
now.
There.
Yeah. How many kids in your family?
I'm the oldest of 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm second in 4. And you grew up in Alabama, so that had to be difficult because let's face it.
Well, I was born in Alabama.
Okay.
I lived there for a couple of years, and then I moved to London, and then I lived there for a couple of years, and then I moved to Nigeria, and I lived there for a couple of years, and then I spent most of my life in San Jose, but I spent my summers in one of the other 3 places.
Now, prejudice-wise, London isn't racist.
Of course it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, it is? I need to be informed. I'm just like...
Earth is racist.
I'm
Earth
just learning
is
all
super
about...
racist.
That's just... Well, that's what you get for being such kings and queens in the superior race. It's just when they catch you onto that, it's like there would be... Nobody cares about mediocre, first of all. So you got to figure that. I mean, I'm just saying from my perspective, as far as what I see, it's like the best music, the best sports players. I mean, it could go right down the line. It's like, obviously.
Yeah, being black is very upsetting to people.
It's upsetting to people.
It's very upsetting.
Because, everybody that's hiding that is insecure in some way that you're going to take something from them. Oh, I know the truth.
Yeah. See, the hardest thing with me is because I've essentially always sounded this way. And so that puts me on the out group in my own community who looks like me, So to white people, I'm black, and to black people, I'm African. So,
which is a big difference.
Well, yeah, and there is a culture difference.
Oh my goodness! So that you are actually an African American.
I am half black, half African American.
Yes.
Yes, my mom is from Alabama, and then my dad is from Nigeria. So,
Because I had someone say, don't call me African American. There's no country called Africa America.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we call Asian Americans Asian Americans. So, I mean, but I understand what they're saying.
I'm just trying to tread the line here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So living in Nigeria had to be different?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, we have money, so...
You were able
right,
to...
yeah. When you have money, everything is okay. Yeah, so it was fine.
So are you involved politically in things? Do you have a strong value as far as like wanting to do more than just, I always ask the guys, what you give back? Because if you have a gift and you're successful at anything in life, if more people thought that way, the give back, the returning to your community or something that's close to your heart.
My dream would be to get to have my comedy career take off, do a few movies, and then probably get into politics.
I like that.
Yeah, so that's...
And make somewhat... Well, you're young enough. I mean, come on now.
I'm not as young as I should be. Like, coming here to LA makes you realize, like...
Oh, yeah. The whole...
Like, they tell you how old you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was the... I can totally sympathize because, that... I was told, don't talk about your age.
Right.
And I'm like, what?
And then 20 minutes in, you're like, how old are you?
Yeah, it's like, well, my age, because, I don't look my age, and I'm like, you don't give it away. And I'm like, no, man, I'm proud to be this age and be doing what I'm doing in a world that is so unforgiving of, as you age, you become less and less desirable. Yeah. But, I mean, let's face it, any kind of movies, that you can't have just a bunch of kids, there's all different characters being played. And some of these roles that have been being given, and also women, women have it the worst. If I see...
The worst. I'm so sorry.
There's just nothing.
I'm so sorry.
Right?
Have you seen Ocean's 8?
Not yet. And
see it. It's terrible.
It's terrible?
But see it.
You have to.
Everybody. It's
who did my work?
Yeah.
And I'm like, for real?
Yeah.
And she's like, bitch, there's no way you're white and you look that way for your age.
White people stay out of the sun. It's not good for you.
No, it's not. And also, there's a lot of things. Most women, I heard a comedian say, wine and spanks. Women resign themselves after 50, because they're married.
Yeah.
They're all set. They didn't, for a woman like me who didn't see this coming, thank God I took care of myself because I would not be having as much fun as I do. It gets me. It's a pass. I'm gonna say it because I'm here in LA.
Yeah.
And I've taken care of myself. And no, I haven't had my face pulled back to my ears.
Yeah.
It's whack too. I've never gone like that. Is such. It's like a toupee.
Yeah. Just everybody get old. It's gonna happen.
It's like embrace that.
And that's the thing. Like your nose, your cheeks, everything. Like your face is going to continue to move.
Isn't that freaky?
It's so weird. I don't know. I'm
scared because I know I have my father's ears, and when he died, I was like, "Damn, look at that man."
Yeah, everything grows. Okay, so if you take your nose out of time and you have a new nose, your face is gonna grow.
Okay,
around
I know there's a lot of men out there going, "What's he saying, man? There's hope."
Yeah.
Where does it stop? Let's go, baby. Yeah, I mean, getting back to what you're doing as far as like the comedy. Have you done comedy acting? You're also doing acting?
Yeah, I'm an actor. So I came down to LA to be an actor, and like I wrote a couple of short films and started in them, and they got into film festivals, and it was great. And honestly, the real reason why comedy, like stand up, like called out to me because it was the one thing that I could control. Like, if you're in a movie, like, if the lighting isn't good, if your scene partner isn't good, the director, the editor isn't good, it's a bad movie.
Right.
Like, it's just bad. But you do stand-up, and it's instant gratification, and the audience tells you exactly who you are when you, like...
We say
it's so self-validating.
It's also one of the hardest gigs to really do.
Yeah.
Also, I really look forward when I go to see a comedy show. I don't know about you, but I hate lazy comedy.
Yeah.
I hate cliche comedy. I hate take a dick joke and work it 17 different ways.
Surface jokes.
If you're fat, your whole thing is on being fat.
Yeah.
I watched a woman do that, and she was a big lady, and it was like watching somebody just degrade themselves publicly, and the audience was laughing out of feeling bad.
Oh yeah.
You could hear the energy, and I'm sure you hear. I mean, I wish a comedian would do a thing on the different types of laughter. That I think I'm the only one who's listening for that.
Yeah.
There's a sympathetic, where you can hear that, and there's the exuberant, and you're good when you get this.
Yeah.
When people actually go, yeah, man, that was good. You caught it.
There's a lot of nuances because, for me, I go up there and I talk about myself. Like I'm not if you come to my shows, I'm not going to make fun of you or make you feel bad that you sat in the front row or whatever like that.
So you keep it your truth.
Yeah, exactly. It's my perspective. Growing up, talking like this, I used to be fat, so fat. Oh my goodness.
Before you hit your growth spurt,
I
right?
was always,
You're like my nephew.
Yeah, I was always 200 pounds. Always. Always. I don't remember a time before. Like I'm 225 pounds now, and this is probably the least I've weighed in like 25 years.
Wow.
I was so fat.
Yeah.
I was emotionally fat. Like listen.
I know this.
No. I found out in the second grade. That my Chinese zodiacs was the year of the pig. And I cried. I sobbed. I thought a billion people had
that's
conspired
hilarious.
on the other side of the continent just to troll me.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I was fat.
I have nothing, and I don't mean to be distracted, but G King's coming on.
Yeah, G King's also from the Bay.
And he's also from the Bay, and you know how privileged are you to grow, to me, because I've been up there going, man, why would anybody leave? And everybody has different,
That's why.
I don't know, LA is also expensive.
2-bedroom in San Jose right now, baseline $5,000 for a 2-bedroom.
Right.
We have no oceans or no, the hills are nice, but regardless, that, it is disgustingly expensive up there.
I can't even imagine. But I want to get back to, does a lot of your comedy touch on that the idea of being the emotionally fat kid and
just
coming into your
emotionally
own?
scarred. I had a lot of scarring growing up because my dad was very, very African. And so, which is fine in Africa, but when I have...
How does that translate? I mean, you got a white lady sitting here going, very African. Do I have to go watch Coming to America?
It was a lot of do as I say, not as I do.
Okay.
And then a lot of very physical reinforcement.
Right.
So, and when you see, and we grew up in white neighborhoods, and so when you see other families getting hugs or Christmases or just general love, you know what I mean? And then with in our household, our dad was raising people not to go to jail. And so,
well, I would think you had a lot of pressure and high expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
Academically, correct?
Right. Yeah.
But look at you in the long run. That really paid off for that discipline. That it takes a lot of discipline to achieve what you have already.
Yeah. But I am because I'm the oldest of 4, so my other brothers and sisters don't. It was different for all of us. So I mean, we're all
successful,
dysfunctional.
Oh, well, yeah. I always go, okay, so you had a normal childhood. So let's have a show, all right? We can have it. It's called the Dysfunctional Awards.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Because everybody, you have to get up, you got to tell you, and then whoever wins, you get the award, and you say, I would like to personally thank my mother for without her, this would not be possible.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and have fun with that.
Yeah, and I feel like my dad half-assed it. Because if he was even worse, I would be more successful. You know what I mean? So, I have the childhood trauma, but not enough to really push me over to that.
Well, I don't know what my excuse was because my father was a cop.
Oh.
And he, I always told my daughters, you want to be happy, stay away from uniforms and musicians. But anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and saying that,
not great.
Comics.
We were not great.
Somebody asked me the other day, it was kind of funny. They were like, why would you choose to have a show and get yourself involved with comedians? They are
good people.
You know what you're dealing with, and I'm like, my people.
Yeah,
okay. I get that.
Here's the thing: I've never smoked anything. I've never had alcohol before. I've never had caffeine before.
No, sir.
Yeah, none of it. So
that's freaky.
Right
now, that's really unusual.
Yeah.
So is it just you didn't have a curiosity, or you were just brought up with the idea of keeping your body? Is it a religious thing? What is it?
It was watching my dad and realizing that I could probably do better if I stayed away from some of the vices that got him to, take things a little too far.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know alcohol is pretty much a very big demon.
Yeah.
Only because I have a friend that's from that background.
Yeah.
And they were saying that growing up, it was not unusual to be very much a drinker.
Yeah. And with the caffeine, I was just one of those stupid kids who always listened to their parents. And my mom, she was a black woman in the morning. it's a work in progress. But like my mom, she hadn't woken up yet. She's waiting for the coffee to do whatever it does in the machine. I don't understand how it works. But anyway, she's waiting for the coffee, and she looks at me, and she's like, "Never drink this ever." And as a 9-year-old, I was like, okay. And in my head, I was just like, okay, my mom told me not to do something ever, and I'm never going to do it. So I didn't understand hyperbole.
Yeah, with my kids, they weren't allowed to have soda when they could break out of Dodge and have soda. They don't like it. I mean, it was like, yeah, I'm going to have soda. Then my daughters were all like, now they're parents, and they're like, yeah, I totally get that.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2.
Okay.
I always tell people, my mother got even with me twice. I have 2 girls.
Oh, yeah. I
have 2 grandchildren.
Yeah.
You have 1. So
I have 1 little girl.
How old is she?
1.
Oh, that's such a great age.
It's
my
so great. Yeah. It's not bad.
I'm watching him because, as I said, I was a singer. Music runs in my family. But my brother's a sound guy.
Yep.
Plays mean harmonica. He's worked for a lot of great big names. And, we sit there and we watch. My daughter had a voice. I would have killed. My youngest had what a voice. She could do phrasing. So she really wasn't in. She's not a front person. She'd do harmonies. So now I have my grandson, and she sent me a picture of him at the drum set that the baby daddy has.
Yeah.
And I was just, he's got the drumsticks he's gonna be 2 in September, and they put the ear heads on, so he doesn't hurt his ears. But he's hitting that, and he's hitting the cymbal, and I'm like, holy smoke, perfect form. He's got the drumsticks like you should have them, and he's actually reaching under because he's watched his dad tune it, and I'm going, this is trippy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So
did you want a boy?
Yeah, that's actually the joke. My daughter that was supposed to be the boy is the one who had the grandson.
Oh, okay.
And the one who's going to get it back threefold that was my mother was amused with me.
Yeah,
is my oldest.
Okay.
She got the girl.
Yeah, like I thought because boys run in my family, so I was like, oh, of course I'm gonna have a boy. But then having a girl, I don't know how it works for women, but having a girl changes you when you're a man.
Very much so.
Yeah, it like horror movies, like just like romantic movies become horror movies.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you see the guy kind of like trying to take the girl's like always studying, and like some like hot like bad boy walks in and like tries to take her away from her goals in life. And like when you're watching it regularly, it's fine. But then when you watch it as a father of a little girl, you're like, hey, why don't you leave her alone? Like, you're like, it's very protective.
Well, yeah, the idea of I remember my ex when the guy would come over the house, and I say, you say hello, you be nice, you just stare at him.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't have to say anything. He knows I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. But yeah, that kind of thing, as far as a lot of the guys talk about that, having daughters puts a whole new perspective on anything and everything that you ever, because you're a man. So you already know what's going through the mind of a man. Eventually, there is certain rules that just are.
Right.
Right? It's a given. So, yeah, that Boston accent. It was funny. I talked to a friend about moving out to L.A. Now, what was that like for you? Because to me, she's like, the first thing she got was a parking ticket, and she had said that. I said, I'm going to use that joke, that when you land in L.A., they ought to give you a complimentary parking violation.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is nonstop here, like nowhere I've ever been. And I can say I've been to New York, maybe when you have that much congestion.
Right.
They know there's a lot of money to be made because people aren't paying attention to 15 signs.
Right.
That you can't even make heads or tails. It's like some of the it's like in Braille, street cleaning on Thursday.
Listen, I don't understand parking tickets. Like, the roads in LA are trash. Like, where is this money going to? Like, has anyone, I need to see a budget plan or something.
Well, back in the day, it was almost bankrupt.
What? City of LA?
The state of California. They had a huge budget deficit and all this, they can't pay their workers. Remember that? Am I right, Lee? You're a political guy. So to me, they came up because they said it wasn't always like this. And then they tried to do the whole thing with the cameras in L.A. I mean, that in itself. Did you hear what happened with the cameras? I got a $93 ticket sitting in my car.
You don't have to pay that.
Oh, yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Because I just paid it. I was just so sick of getting tickets.
So I guess 6 years ago, they took a picture of someone's license and they sent it to their house and they got a parking ticket.
What?
And the guy had a girl in the car with him. And that guy was a lawyer and sued the state of California because the the girl in his car was not his wife.
Obviously.
And so like it turned into this whole lawsuit about like civil privacy and all this other stuff. So like 95% of those cameras don't even work anymore. And the ones that do.
There are only 2 because I got it in Culver City. I got a $500 ticket for going through a red light in Culver City and Beverly Hills. That's the...
for making a right turn on a red.
That is ridiculous.
Isn't it? Welcome to LA. And not only that, it's like...
$60 to go to the school so it doesn't go against your driving record.
Yeah, I had to pay. I had to go to that.
I'm not
funny
gonna
thing
lie. I don't have license plates on my car.
Yeah,
I'll take that fix-it ticket over a $600 moving violation any day.
fix a ticket.
A fix-it ticket is $25.
I didn't know. See, you could actually set up like the intro, like you'd have to go get like diversity training to go to another country to understand that. They ought to have that. Welcome to LA. Let us educate you on parking signs, parking by everything.
Yeah.
And
gotta
like
pay
I
for
didn't
bags
know you
now.
couldn't be on your phone, and I had Florida plates, and the cop when he's
What cop is pulling you over?
No, he didn't pull me over. He's riding next to me, and he's looking at me. When my dad's a cop, I already know why is this guy staring me down. So I said to my daughter hey, can you check and see if it's legal to be on your cell phone in California? She goes, oh, I'm sure you're fine. Well, then he drops behind me, and I'm like, oh, man, he's running my plates. And then he pulls up beside me, and he's glaring at me, and he goes, what are you doing is what he mouths. And I look at the phone, and I went, no. And he goes, no. And everybody out here said, you're lucky. That's a $312 ticket.
This is white privilege right there.
White privilege.
Just when cops have a conversation with you without even pulling
you know
over.
What? He's right, though. He's right.
They didn't even pull
I'll
you
give
over?
you that, right. I play the cute, yeah, you're
This
right.
White Woman's Day is way too important to even stop her.
Just, we're not going to, I don't want to pull her over, but I did get a ticket.
That's beautiful.
In the fast lane. I didn't know you had to have that thing on your car.
Oh, yeah.
And I pulled into it, and then I saw a fast track, and I pulled right out. I mean, it was in and out, and they had a picture of my car in the fast lane for 27. And to take it further, when I tried to pay the ticket online with my phone,
Yeah.
and it was late, but I got a penalty because I couldn't. I waited last minute. I just figured I'll just pay the ticket. Because it says you can pay online. And the woman on the other phone goes, "Oh yeah, you have to have a PC or a laptop."
Oh,
and I go, "Nowhere does it say that." Oh, by the way, we will not be able to take this payment unless you have a PC or a laptop. And they got me for the fine too.
Can you just rewind for a second? And can you tell us a story about how you got pulled over without even getting pulled over? I mean, that's like a fantasy world. I just want to hear it again. I want to go home and I want to tell my daughter about this fairy tale.
Where the cop just said to me,
Yeah, exactly.
just
Had a
drive
conversation with you.
With the police officer through the window.
Yes, where he's watching you break the law.
Right, watching me, and he's just fine with it.
Right, exactly.
But also, my license plate, to add insult to injury, my license plate, because I sang the anthem,
Yeah.
that's what my license plate said, anthem. So I look all like, I'm very white in that car,
That's
okay?
beautiful.
You know?
That's beautiful.
Just take a knee. I'm good. Yeah, man. When you do comedy up on stage as like do you look out and when you see them locked in on you, one of the things that you don't always get straight laughs with the whole thing, but do you also enjoy the fact that that audience is engaged with you?
Yeah.
Even as you're going, okay, that was supposed to be funny, but it's okay because I still have them.
Right. No. So Sarah Silverman taught me this. I'm not personally, just from watching her, but she tells this one joke where the punchline eventually is the setup is that her friend is sick from drinking too much and she feels like she's about to get raped while she's throwing up into. Do you know this joke?
I think I saw it.
Yeah, she's throwing up into the toilet and she feels someone pulling down her underwear.
That's right.
And she thinks that, and it's this very quiet, scary moment, and it's very serious and everyone is like locked in. And the punchline essentially is that she's shitting and that's making her underwear fall off.
Yes, and that the audience goes nuts because it's and that laughter is the nervous release laughter.
Exactly.
Right.
And so just watching her command the stage and have everyone's attention. And so like I wrote a joke where I don't know if you know this, but Black Americans have a higher propensity of heart disease than white Americans.
Yes.
But they also have a higher propensity for heart disease than Africans. Yeah.
Is it your diet?
No, it has nothing to do with diet.
Wow.
Because white people and black people have the same diet essentially. What the issue is that back during the transatlantic slave trade, slave owners would lick the slaves.
No, sir.
Yeah, for salt. And the saltier your sweat was, the more you retained water and the less resources you would need to cross the Atlantic Ocean.
That's whack.
Yeah. Black Americans.
Where did you find that?
I'll give you my sources.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. But Black Americans were bred for hypertension and diabetes. Like it was the Africans back in the day that retained the most water that make up the American black people. So that is why we have a high.
Fascinating.
Yeah, that's true. And so I'm telling the story, and people are like locked in. And eventually, the punchline is like, "Who the fuck are these slave lickers? Like, who's going around? Like, is it a volunteer position? Like who's licking slaves?
Excuse me, can I be your slave, baby?
Yeah,
You got some licking going on?
It's like, is that how they figured out who gay people were? Like, if they were volunteering to lick, it was white women, obviously. But no,
I like that.
But eventually, like, that's the story. Like, you get people like really involved in this thing, and you're teaching them something, and they're like, "Wait, what? What?" And it's true. It's 100% true.
I always marvel at how comedians get their jokes. For instance, like with the perception people have. I was on a radio show, and they were older women. I mean, they were going back. We were talking how far back to these women did you know the comedy that they grew up with? And one of the women was 80-something. She was talking about Amos and Andy. Okay. And their perception is that comedians are just these incredibly funny people who just get up on stage.
No.
But that's a lot of people.
Those are comedians.
Right.
Those are comedians. I'm a comic. So.
Oh, wait. Now, I've had this conversation before, but explain the difference for the people who haven't heard this.
Okay, so a comedian is someone who says things funny. And a comic is someone who says funny things.
I like that.
Yeah. So, like, for me, like, I can't, like, I have friends, you could open up a phone book right now, and them reading it would make you laugh because they're funny. Like, the way that they say and pronounce and animate makes it funny, no matter what it is. For me, I have to sit down and I have to write and I have to make a callback within a joke and layer it. And because I don't have the ability to just be funny, I can create funny, but I'm a comic.
So that's really interesting because I would say that if that were true, then I would be somebody. A lot of people say you're a comedian, right? It's automatic. You're a comedian.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm what you just described. Very natural. I've always been organically funny, as one of the comedians said to me. But I have such a respect. It's amazing how being around all the comedians and me just being me, they're like, why aren't you doing stand-up?
Why aren't you doing stand-up?
And I'm like, there was a lot of reasons, but this has been like school. And the material that I talk about, the things that make it funny, like what translate really funny on stage.
Right.
But I also respect the fact that you still have to write out that joke.
Right.
You still have to know. And, you guys do a lot of freestyle if the comedians do.
Right.
Now, comic stays to script. Is that what you're telling me?
No, we have scripted. It's loosely scripted.
Now, I have a friend who wanted me to ask you all.
Okay.
People stealing your jokes. How do you protect that? Can you protect that?
Nope.
Or is it just because I've heard somebody said, she mentioned Dane Cook, and I didn't even know this. She's like, he's a scumbag. And I go, no, I really didn't know that. But what are you telling me? She goes, yeah. Now, this is somebody who's more of a viewer, a fan of comedy,
right,
who does a lot of back research on the comedians, that she's found fascinating. And I've heard somebody said that about Amy Schumer. Oh, she stole people's comedy. I mean, legitimately, if you're known for that, you have a lot of people don't respect you. Your fellow peers,
right.
You're kind of like blackballed as far as that goes, right?
It's hard. Like, rule of thumb for me is unless I know like what was in your heart when something happened, I'm not going to pass judgment. Like, you know what I mean? It's very possible that Amy Schumer has writers, and she has like a group of people who help her develop her material. And whether those people heard something from an open mic or stand up or like that, and then brought it to Amy Schumer. And
okay.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So there's so many possibilities, but it is when you get confronted, when someone says, "Hey, that's my joke. Here's me doing it 3 years ago," and you still use it.
Okay.
then you're crossing boundaries and lines.
Yeah, because I wonder about that mutual respect, because she's all like, there's a lot of competition.
Right.
Somebody said, there's cliques. It's like in a
Right,
society.
exactly. Yeah.
And then, when, like, I'm always fascinated when people become, hey,
What's up, G
when people
King?
become G King in the house.
Hey, area, stand up.
That is so cool. You made it, dude. We've been like deeply engrossed in the conversations, and it actually worked out really well that I had both of you booked for tonight. You hit me up, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I know you forgot about me.
I asked this guy, because my life is like just so complicated, and I want to mic you up. We're gonna come in on that. G King, man, you was filming.
Is that what you done?
Now, first of all, in segueing to this young man, dude, congratulations! Ain't that? Let me be the first. I need to shake your hand, because that's like you were able to achieve something that is really like something that you said that was your goal, and to be actually standing in it.
Yeah, it actually do stand up on TV. Yeah.
So I want to know, is it like scratching a lottery ticket and going, I won?
Yeah, I mean, it was weird. Like, once you do it, it's like, I don't know, because I hang around a lot of people that got TV credits, so it kind of was like,
what's wrong with me?
nah,
When am I
it's
gonna
kind of
get
like,
there?
all right, you got a TV credit. Like, I don't know, it's just like, well, if it's like it meant more in the Bay Area, but out here, everybody has TV credits, so you got to act like you got them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be like, yeah, I was on TV. It's like, you got to kind of like be cool about it. Like, all right.
Yeah, you gotta
it's
act
like-
that way. But
yeah,
how do you feel
I mean,
though?
I feel cool, but I'm saying I feel like I had to be like, all right. Once I did it, like, okay, what's next? Like,
You got a lot more friends today?
oh yeah. I mean, when I went to the, I was at the Improv on Monday. A lot of people was like giving me props, like, hey man, dope stuff. You know what I mean? Asking me how it was, and everything.
Well, yeah, it's really cool to see one of your own, and the people that sincerely. And by the way, I like your hat.
Oh, yeah,
Congratulations on that,
yeah,
too.
We've been
Yeah.
winning.
Yeah,
we've been
yeah,
graduating
right.
for the next couple of years.
I have to say that, and that I've been hated on because Guy Terry hates the Celtics, and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. They ain't paying my mortgage.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, respect on that. But so this is your year. Not only do you have that hat, you also on that.
Yeah.
That's special. And you did talk about it's a little different when you're doing TV recording.
Yeah, it's different because it's not like a comedy crowd. It's like, it was just weird. It's not organic. It's like it's a TV show, so it's not. It's like they try to make it like a comedy show, but it's you sitting around forever, putting makeup on, and they have restrictions on you, like you can only go from here to there. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like
No, because
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to knowing what you're saying. But yeah, that I do know it's very only because when I first came out here, I did PA work on a few. I was willing to do whatever, and they're like, "Have you ever done?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll wing it." You
Yeah,
know?
of course.
But
Mm.
it
Fake it
is.
till you
It's
make
very
it.
tedious,
Yeah.
and even in the recording studio, I was a singer. Even that, do it again. Was it all done in one take, or did you have to?
nah, we did it all in one take.
Yeah,
So I was
because
kind of nervous. I didn't want to be. I
No.
mean, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of live. Like, it wasn't no like. I don't know what everybody kind of just did their set, so nobody made a mistake. So I don't know, like, say if you messed up if they edited it, but I just was like, that made me kind of nervous too, because like I don't want to mess up and they have to do the joke again, and then I don't get the same response. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
'cause,
Was
I
your
mean,
family like all your friends and family must have been like probably had a lot of people celebrating that with you?
Yeah.
As far as that,
it sucks because I had to like pick it because they only give you 10 invites, so you had to like pick and choose. I got a lot of family in the Bay Area, so I mean, they was I just picked the main, the ones that support me.
the ones that
come
invite you to them cookouts, you want to make
Nah,
sure you
not
still get
even
invited.
that. Just the ones that come out. You know what I'm saying? Come
Yeah, and
out
that's-
to shows when I wasn't. You know what I mean? When it wasn't the Kevin Hart show. Like,
right. And that's something that is really cool because you really do get to look back and see supporting people. It's a big deal out here.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking for. And people say, come out to my show. It's like, man, I wish I had 10 of me that I could go in one night to see everybody. I try to get around to each of the shows because I appreciate what you guys contribute to just life.
It's hard. The one thing that you learn when you come down to LA is nobody cares if you're funny. They just don't. Like comedy club, you can get on. I can put you on the stage right now with on the Comedy Store or the Improv. If you have 12, 20 people that want to see you,
Yeah,
any club in LA will put you up.
That's not
Yeah.
like it was back in the day.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah,
I had Rich Scheidner was, talked about being back in the 80s when they didn't have all these big comedy stores. He said, if you hosted, you made 2,500, not 250.
Yeah.
He said that's when you could. But it's like anything, they saturated it. Once they caught on that these comedy clubs, they just started going boom. And now it's like for someone like me, it's like come to my comedy show. That's the other thing too. Do your friends tell you, man, it's expensive? Come see you.
Yeah, I don't normally like when I first started. I used to like want people to come out, but I've been doing it for so long.
Wait, how long?
11 years.
Yeah, that is.
So I don't be like,
digit.
you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I just post it and then they'll, if they come.
Is it really? I mean, the time that you have in, is it really hard keeping that focus? I mean, did you get like at 8 years and go, man, how long is it going to take? Or did you know that you were going to be in it possibly for like what would seem like forever? That you would be.
Nah, because I kind of like I wanted them people like. You got some people that do stand up to lead to something. Like I'm gonna do stand up so I can get into movies, or I'm a stand up, so it's what I do. So I never, you know what I'm saying? It never was like. Hey, it's just gonna work out. It kind of like it's just what I did. Like I I get up. Like some people be like, man, I ain't getting up if I ain't getting paid. But I love doing stand. I love the craft. I love getting up. Like it could be a crappy open mic. I just like to just work out.
BT commented on that about people complaining about the stage or how many people. I watched him do a pack house at the at Flappers, and then I saw him get up at the end of the night at Crack 'em Up Comedy, and there were 7 people. And they in the time that he had left on stage, it was like he was the last comic.
Yeah,
he gave as much as if it was a packed house.
Yeah.
That's his spot. He always does that every Thursday. He does the
Crack 'em Up
the
Comedy.
last night. Yeah, he does it like when everybody leaves. He does the last spot every Thursday. If he's in town, that's what he does.
Does he really?
Yeah, I've been knowing BT. I've been knowing BT when I first started. He used to have this show in Sacramento called Touch of Class. They did the Heart of the City the first time he did it at Touch of Class, and then he had one of the hottest nights in Sacramento. It was popping every Sunday.
That's
really. I got a lot of stage time. He used to throw me up. He would always hit me up like, "Hey, I got a show." Like BT always been like I've been knowing him for years. Like we
see
go
those are the people. Do you people that from the beginning supported you and like mentored?
Yeah, I got one, John Campanelli. He's like the only person. Yeah, he's the one that brought me out to New York to do Caroline's last weekend. And so yeah, like it was just like there's nobody. Like he's like the only person who like has seen me from, because I used to do his bringer shows when I first got out here, and I used to fly people from San Jose just to make sure I had my numbers.
Wow.
Because yeah.
Damn.
It was the only way like to get up, and like I take it seriously, and when he saw that, like how dedicated I was, like he was like, okay, like I'm here to do it. Like
man, I'd be out.
I don't have the money to do that.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
I'd be out giving people like forget GoFundMe. I'd be doing the Go View Me. That was one of my ideas. Go View Me, man.
Yeah.
Come see me. And the other side of that too is like you also to be doing like today. You were out last night. See, this amazed me. You were out last night, and then you filmed today, which is that's being on set. That's a grind.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And then
I've been there since 10:30. I just got done.
And you were out of town, so you had just gotten back. I told my hidden suitcase.
Sunday.
He's like, yeah,
the Megabus. Hopped on the Megabus.
Oh yeah.
That's the way. That's the only way I just back and forth Megabus. I got kind of used to it. It kind of relaxes me. I just get on my phone and then just ride.
You ever think about doing stand up in the middle of the bus?
Nah, I never thought about that.
Freaking people out.
I just get on my phone and watch a movie, and before you know it, I've done it so many times. Like since I moved to LA, and I'm always doing shows in the day.
5 hours, right?
5 hours.
Yeah.
I park my car at my boy house in North Hollywood, catch the Uber to the bus. Catch the bus to Oakland.
People don't know the craft.
Yeah.
Getting around.
Pick me up in
another
Oakland,
thing.
and I got a car that my grandfather gave me. I don't know if I do a joke about my grandfather being 105.
Oh yeah.
But he had a car that was just sitting in the garage, and they never used it. It was a New Yorker, and they only had like 30,000 miles on it. So I got it, and then got it painted, got it fixed, and then so when I'm in the Bay, I use that.
And what year is it?
I'm thinking about bringing it back out here, but I just don't want to be parking 2 cars.
No, what year is it?
It's an '86 Chrysler New Yorker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's a classic. It's cool. I painted it, threw some rims on it. Like, it's cool.
Gotta have the rims.
I'm thinking about bringing it out here, but I just don't want to be, like I said, parking 2 cars.
Why don't you switch them?
Yeah, I could. I thought about it, but
The demise of like when somebody asks me to come to a show, first thing I've learned to say is, "What's the parking like?"
Yeah.
Ain't
Yeah.
nothing worse than trying to get in, and then and that was like the night
just
you were
got
at the
used-
Comedy Union, and
Yeah.
by the time I got in, it was to get a parking spot. I'm like, first of all, some of the clubs that are not in really a great area. So being a single woman walking to the car,
Right.
But is there a club that you like more than? I mean, like, is a favorite to play the stage? You just like the room, you like the feel of the room.
I mean, my favorite place to perform is probably the Belly Room at the
Okay.
Comedy Store, and then second is the Comedy Dojo
Okay,
at
I've heard of that.
Sycamore Tavern.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody else. I think
Man, that's a cool room.
Betsy Bling. She was just
Yeah.
on my show. She played there the other night. What about you?
My best
Favorite room.
in LA. I don't know. I probably would say I like the Comedy Union. The Comedy Union is cool on Friday or Saturday nights.
I almost got in there, dude. I'm gonna have to get in there. I know Monday.
Probably the best open mic that I like doing is probably a mirror spot.
Mirror Sauce is good.
I like a mirror, like because I mean it's dope. It's cool because I don't know. I just like a mirror spot. Like it's no pressure. You can
Where's
just go
that?
work out. It's in,
Sherman Oaks?
yeah, Sherman Oaks.
That's where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
It's
right
the
right
British
around the
pub.
corner from where I live, right off.
Yeah.
The,
Oh, damn.
the
Yeah,
British pub.
I'm
Wednesday
gonna have
nights.
to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go there on Wednesdays. Or what's another mic I like going to? That one.
I just do the haha. I mean,
And
more for the
when
camaraderie.
I first moved out here, I used to do the haha. I'm gonna start going back.
Yeah, they got an outdoor stage too now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, at 8.
Now you guys.
Open mic?
Yep.
I didn't know that. You still gotta pay $5?
Yeah, Deleon does it
Oh
on
yeah,
Friday.
that's the other thing.
Oh, Daniel
Honestly,
does
Yeah.
I
that
didn't know
idea
Okay,
of charging
Friday.
comics $5, I could never do that. I
Man.
just couldn't, man, because you guys. I mean, pretty much, it really is a grind. If they're up and coming, I mean, you know, it's just something where you want to hit as many stages. So if
It's
you
not like
had,
New York.
it's like, yeah, that's really kind of tough. I wish.
Yeah, them mics. When I first moved, I used to the ha. It seemed like everybody's when they first moved out here, they hit the ha.
Yeah.
Like the first.
I don't know why, but
I
yeah.
don't know why everybody. Cause I guess because it's every day of the week.
It's
Oh,
it's
it is. Their open
yeah.
mic
And
is every day of the week.
It's every every
You know
day.
why? Because it's promised time. You go do all these other raffle spots. Like if you don't go up, you
Yeah,
don't go
Cleo's
up.
was like that.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I
I love
always
Cleo's.
believe, but yeah,
Cleo's was
because
good.
that's where that's how I met all
That's
these
where I
guys.
met her at Cleo's.
You know, I get up there and sing my little face off going through my, nothing
Yeah,
great.
you
Maybe
maybe
I'll
singing. I thought
sing
you
you
was gonna
then.
do stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did
maybe
do
I'll see
stand-up.
you.
I did a skit one night about going to buy a mat. I was in sales, so I did a skit on people buying mattresses. And the ottoman she had on the stage?
Mm-hmm.
I imitated people and how you try out mattresses. So, there's the CPR of the massage,
Mm-hmm.
thing with
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
did the lying across. It was hilarious. But I was actually so frustrated with the woman that I went shopping with that had all this angry energy that when I
Mm.
get up on stage, it just translated truth into comedy.
Yeah.
So, but I'll tell you, to do it at that energy level, like every gig that I would have, that's where I respect you guys. Is
That's what I
because
learned from Kevin.
You do it really
Yeah.
to be able to deliver it with that enthusiasm each time.
It's because working at the San Jose Improv, like you would see these comics go like 9 times in a weekend, back to back. Like Thursday 1 show, Friday 2 shows, Saturday 3 shows.
Right.
And Kevin Hart, like he was so energetic and excited, like equally excited for every single time he told the exact same joke. And like that's when I learned, like just working at the Improv and picking up these little tricks from all the comics, the big names. Like it was the best school I ever went to.
Yeah,
so.
dude, and you get to do a sit down with him. I am so jealous.
I play poker with him.
Come on now, you're both killing me.
He's reckless.
I ain't never. Yeah.
He's reckless on the poker table.
Yeah, I would believe that. Well, hey, look, all I can tell you is I'm reading his autobiography.
Yeah.
And everything in his life is how he was disciplined, the structure,
Yeah.
the thing behind his mother, even the quirkiness of his dad, who was
Yeah.
quite a character. All of that played into where he is today.
Yeah, of course.
But now, what does that interview involve when you sit with him? You get how long is it? Like 2 minutes, 3
I don't
minutes?
even know. It's probably be like I don't know. I mean, I watched the show. That interview was like maybe like it's a good part of the show because he's interviewing all 3 of us. So I guess it's just a conversation. Like he might ask me like, how long I been doing stand up? What's the worst set I ever had? Like stuff like that. Like you know what I mean? It's just like a convo. Like,
Yeah, I'd like to ask you as far as what was the most. Have you ever had a moment where you were just like, you just wanted to disappear?
Man, I had my moments. Like I had a few sets like that in Oakland. It was just like a rough. When I first started, more so than now because I've been doing it a while, so I kind of know how to.
And I know because you on your Instagram. By the way, everybody, you should follow both these gentlemen on Instagram. I'll haunt you if you don't. You also, the idea of food. You crack me up when you're like, no, I really shouldn't. But man, look at that. Look how good that looks. When you talk about that. And I can only sympathize because being as busy as I've been, and there's so many restaurants here with like insanely good food.
Yeah.
I find like I was at the mall and I couldn't get a coffee at Starbucks. I got the mother with the 2 kids that was just like, ugh. And all I want is a cup of coffee, and it's just way too long at the cashier. Okay, I got no patience for it, so I derail, and there's a bakery that I see down on the right. Oh my God. And like I'm on this thing where my trainer's trying to get me in this diet mode before I start working out again. And she's like, absolutely no sugar, none. You stay away from all that big ass looking pastry.
Man.
And I'm like, can I just go in and sniff the menu?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It is hard being on the road, right?
I just when you're doing shows on the late night, you just be hungry. Like, it make me hungry.
Yeah, there really isn't like
Yeah,
Right.
no, I try not to eat after 8.
Hey,
Like, no matter what.
gotta get
Listen,
disciplined.
you
I was
didn't-
disciplined like that.
you didn't hear him talk about he was fat his whole life.
I was so
Good, the fat kid, the year of the pig, all of it.
all of it. Like, yeah,
So there were no chicks chasing you.
no. And like I mean, for being honest, like I still have body dysmorphia from it. Like I still, I still see myself as a
It's
fat
fat.
kid.
I have a friend like that.
Yeah.
She looks like a 7-year-old little boy, and she's still so obsessed
Yeah.
that she
I'm the
said
opposite. I was skinnier when I was.
Oh yeah.
Get out,
no.
really?
I mean, I got scared. I'm like Luther Vandross. Like I was like about a couple years ago, I was skinny, and then I'll lose it, then I'll
They
gain
call
a
that
little.
the yo-yo thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I gained it, but now I'm to the point where I want to. I don't know because TV and I'm getting
sit-
different looks, and I just want to be slimmer. Like just
Listen,
a
you
bit-
missed the licking thing in here. That was not that there was any licking going on in the story. Let me clarify that.
Yeah.
Some more information about some shit, man. I don't even know where
I'll
that
take you
is.
off there.
Research
Yeah.
101. And your comedy, because I did get to see you at Cleo's, man. That was some fun, man. That opened my
She
night.
King's the man.
Why
Yeah.
she's not doing it no more?
Well,
What's she doing
I
on
don't
once a
know what
month?
happened. She did do something, and every
She
time
left for
she'd
a
have an
while.
open mic, she would take off. But I don't know if it was a problem with the room or what it was. But that's where a lot of comedians really. I was amazed at like that one guy who used to come in. I haven't seen him out and about. There was this oddity of a kid that used to come in that white dude. And I'm going to think of his name. Keith was his name, and he would do these almost like really dry humor, but his mind was incredible. And like I was like, is he doing any shows or anything? They go, no, he does the open mic and then he disappears. And you saw some incredible talent on that stage.
Yeah, I mean that's
You
the
know?
most. It was so supportive, like, and that's the one thing
Oh.
you don't get from open mics. Usually, everyone's on their phone and waiting for them to get up. They don't give you anything back, and
Yeah,
so you're-
that was
Yeah.
that whole thing. Clap and we support.
yeah, exactly. Most open mics is just a way for you to memorize your material.
Yeah. Open mics in LA are kind of crappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. Like I said, the
I mean, you just
idea
learn
of
how to
doing
like.
that.
Because when I first moved out here, it was about 3 years ago, and I was like, back in the Bay, I was getting stage time, or at least the open mics. It's people in there, like
Right.
and I'm like, man, this is like. I got here, my cousin was like giving me all the list of these open mics, and I'm like, and I would go to them, and they were just crappy. I'm like, dude, it's all comics,
Horrible.
and he was like, yeah, that's gonna be your mics till you,
Level up.
yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you right
So
now.
I had to
because-
go like it was weird. I went from like doing shows and to coming to LA to like starting all over basically.
Oh,
That's what
man.
it felt like.
You need to come back and do my show for a full set.
Oh yeah.
Because we'll throw
I
some.
missed like the first one.
So caffeine. Well, I've had a couple of the comedians where things. First, when I screwed up, Guy Tori could only do 30 minutes, and then he came back on to do a full hour. He enjoyed himself. Like I
no.
say to people, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the format is really to get to know a little bit more about you. And I, finding out your background, which is amazing that his name is actually King. That's, and I felt very privileged because I felt like I was surrounded by kings. The music that I highlighted tonight to open my show, also a king. This whole format as far as like.
Well, your first name is King?
My first name is King.
Oh,
It
dope.
is
Yeah.
actually King.
Hey,
you
my
know?
last name is King.
and you see, and I date a king, so whatever, it's all good. And in saying that, you know, to be able to get out and catch a comedy show and actually get a little bit more of your background, I'm like, Lee, we coming out.
You got about 4 more minutes.
Which could you just say like how they can find you, see you, and like tomorrow, by the way, I'll send you the link to repost this.
Okay.
If you want to see how you got through those last 20 minutes.
Oh, I was here.
Poor
I was
baby.
got
Well,
By the
yeah,
time I
I
get
mean,
here,
you know, that's
I
the
got
thing
here
about
like
being
at
on
8.
set. I've had a lot of people that are on set. I think Troy in L.A., you know, his name being what it was, he was also caught up in that where he was like, man, I'm just you gotta it ends when it ends. There's no set time on set.
I figured because they contacted me at like yesterday, and they were like, yeah, it's at 10. So I'm like, cool. I'm not thinking I'm thinking I could do both, but I'm like, man, it's, you know what I mean? I've been here for like.
So when's your next show? When can they see you?
Yeah, man.
My next show, I have I'm doing Crack 'em Up Thursdays next Thursday.
Oh, I'll see you there.
Yeah, next Thursday.
Now
and
I'll enjoy
Bakersfield.
that.
Then I'm doing Bakersfield on Friday. I got a show tomorrow at the Hollywood Hotel.
Do you
And
really?
then I'm doing a couple of days with Paul Rodriguez at the Brand Improv on Saturday.
How cool is that? I like him.
Yeah.
Now, basically, you're going to start seeing. I mean, that really is when you accomplish what you've done to be on that Kevin Hart, and they advertise that on the logo. As seen on Kevin
Yeah.
Hart, but that
Comes
helps,
to that.
doesn't it? As far as your booking goes, does it
Yeah.
bump it up a notch as far as
I mean,
out
I
of
guess
town?
it helps. I mean, it's what you do with it.
Out of town, right?
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
'cause-
if you push it, yeah, it can work. You know.
yeah,
I'm-
because
yeah.
I have a friend of mine who's a comedian in Boston, and he said if you perfect your craft out in L.A. for a comedian, you can travel and actually eat
Yeah, yeah.
because you ain't there's just
I
too
mean,
many
it don't
people.
really mean. I don't know if it meant anything in LA.
No, not in
No,
LA.
that's
No.
what's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it may get. It may get you in some spots you probably couldn't get in before. Maybe like, you know, when it airs, maybe people might. Hey,
You just have to
that
pick up
week,
like,
that week you could
"Hey,
probably
baby."
get on all the shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Hey, baby, maybe you recognize me. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know.
But I don't. It don't.
Yeah.
And your G King comic on
Yeah, G King.
Instagram.
Yeah, G King Comic.
You got a Twitter.
Yeah, it's G King Comic. All
Okay,
of it.
so
And
everybody's
then-
telling me I should get a Twitter account too.
Yeah,
I don't
try
know.
to tweet.
Yeah, I
but I
don't-
don't really. I try to tweet, but I don't. I would tweet like it's like.
It's not your thing.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean it was when it first came out, but then I'm more on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
So that's all. When you make the big time, right? You got to hire
but
a tweeter.
Twitter is still big though.
Yeah,
You know-
Twitter's important.
Yeah.
Twitter's
I hear
important.
that Donald Trump might be up for hire for because he's all about that.
Please don't. We're winding down. Don't get me started. Like
I already
I was
told
so
you Shay on
glad.
the show. Yeah.
I was so glad you didn't bring him up. Just,
No, I just
yeah.
please that affliction of.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it though because I look at that mic and that's all I see is his face. But in saying that, now where can we catch you?
What's today? Wednesday? Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday.
Okay. Friday I'm at the Comedy Store. Next Thursday I'm at or Saturday I'm at the Haha. Next Wednesday and Thursday I'm at Flappers. Yeah.
Now, do you guys have agents or do you guys
No.
handle all your?
I don't have it.
Yeah.
'Cause you don't
everything
wanna
else.
deal with that
everything
shit.
myself.
I mean, I had every time I've gotten representation since I moved to LA, like it's always been regretted. Like it's just like the person just like my commercial agent, like too big of a roster. They only see me as a football player. I'm just like, look, like I promise you I'm more than that. And so it's just
Well, I have a gal. If you guys ever have to deal with contracts, she handles.
I mean, I got an
She
agent
handles
like
that.
a commercial agent.
yeah.
Well, that's
But
good to have.
as far as like comedy, I book all my stuff.
Yeah. I got an agent in Atlanta.
Commercials and stuff. Yeah.
Now, to do that, do you guys send sizzle reels like for anyone who's interested in how you do get yourself booked? Do you have to have like a copulation of what you've done?
It's weird for me. I produce shows.
Okay.
So for me, like for me for producing shows, like I am in line with a lot of other producers, and so that's kind of how like I spread through.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've really enjoyed that. I know that the show's coming down to an end. You're coming back. I'm
Yeah.
going to be out of town, and I'm going to have some people come in and host the show while I'm gone.
Awesome.
So that way,
Where you gonna
just
be?
not
Where you
running
going?
show. I'm going to Florida. I am emceeing the Flambe Festival in Miami
Oh, okay.
on the 3rd and 4th. And while I'm over on the East Coast, I'm going to see my kid and my grandkid.
Awesome.
And give her a little bit of a break and show her, this is how it's done. You take notes.
Yeah.
As your mother.
King Hassan _O, by the way, Instagram. That's where you find
Check
me
them
at.
out, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much at G King. Honestly, congratulations.
Congrats,
I'm
thanks,
so psyched
thanks,
for you.
thanks.
Take it out, Lee. See you out there.
We the only thing poppin'. When we get the money, we gon' make a way. Ain't no suffering no more, no, not today. We gon' help communities and make it safe. Yeah, we here to make the world a better place. Yes, we on a mission, better believe we got